Hello YouTube, my name's Cruz. Welcome to my first episode of MineTech Season 2. I'm joining you here on this wonderful MineTech evening to show the spawn that Jake and Doug built at the beginning of Season 1. This is what we just kind of call the monolith, but I'm not here to show you that. I'm more here to show you this. This is one of the sleeping modules we have on the world. So as you see, it's night right now, so I'm going to be able to sleep. But these are important because if there's more than one person on the world, it only takes one person to sleep for it to go back to day. Oh, didn't quite work there. I'm actually asleep. You actually just have to stand on it, but I don't really know exactly how it's supposed to work. See? Boom, it's daytime now. I do kind of wonder why they didn't make it morning and day instead, but I digress. Alright, well, we're not here to show you that. I am here to do a walkthrough of my base for this episode, because I started a while ago, and I haven't really shown any of it off. So I guess we'll go into the nether portal first. This is actually the first thing I built. This is just the little spawn hub. Gets us to, this is the storefront where everyone's stores are at. I've got a few over there, that's not important right now. I'll show you guys those if you want to see them in a video. There's not really much to go through. That one sells wood, that one sells bones, that one's not done yet. But this is the nether hub. It will take you to everyone's base. So let's head right through right now then, shall we? And this is just another hub. I don't really know where to go from this. It's not that interesting. It's kind of interesting. I like it. This ice here is for boats. If you need to go a far distance, you just put them down. And when you bring them back, all you got to do is just get out and forget it. It'll automatically be put into the hoppers and be put right back into here. Duck hates these things. He hates them with a burning passion. Everyone's base is kind of up here. Jake's, Duck's, Rich, Renario, Karma Inc. Outpost. And over here we have Rent's Trading Center, which isn't actually this way anymore. And DJ's Hobbit Hole, which is right there. I like to put these little flags here, the banners. I like mine. It's supposed to be a sun rising over a mountain, which it's supposed to be a forest, but it looks more like a mountain. I don't know. I think it makes sense in my base. Let's head there right now, shall we? Alright, here we are at the entrance to my tunnel. It's not really done yet. I've mostly just got the floor in. I gotta decorate it still. But, I might get that done in this episode, just at the very end. I'm not really sure. It depends how long it takes to go through my base. Probably not, though. But anyway, let's head in right now, shall we? I have not a lot to show you guys, but a pretty good amount. And this is my base as of right now. Let's hit it from the sky, shall we? I just got a good part of it finished right now to show you off what it's all going to look like. You just got a quick glimpse there. So as you can see, that's kind of circular. I'm going to fill all of this in around here and make it all one level. But that over there is the part that I have just finished, to show off what every part of this base is going to look like. This is what the outsides of it all will look like. I'm going for kind of an overgrown theme, I guess. We're in a jungle, I think that makes sense. In this big pond full of water. And this is my storage room. These are my storage silos. How these work is, there's not a chest here right now. Here, grab some concrete powder. So what you do is, if you've got a bunch of concrete, but you're too lazy to go put it into chests individually, you just come over to this trap chest, throw it all in. These do take time, and I've found that these systems will break if you walk away from them, so I only use them if I have a bunch of one item that I would like to get rid of. And I put these lamps here as indicator lights, so I would know when the system was running and when it was not. You can hear it clicking back there. And if we look through the chests, we can see the lime concrete powder flowing... Powder? Perfect. We can see the concrete powder flowing in right now. These are not fast systems, but I like that they can be modular to do whatever you want. They do require you to fill in every space. And as you can see, every space is not filled in, so this is the things that I've put through that do not have a spot yet. These are all the things I still need to put in, but that's kind of why I like them. You don't need to have the whole storage room done immediately. You can put it together as you go. These were made by, I want to say, Tango Tech. They did need some modifications to work on Bedrock. And a lot of items, as you can see, I took 4 out of here, green concrete powder. They're actually stuck in the back of the system. So I built this little clock here that you stand on. And if you do this for long enough, if you want to see what items are in the back, you can stand on this and they should flow in. They don't always want to flow in though. Sometimes it needs items to make them move around, but generally speaking, it's not that big of a deal. It could be that this system is still broken, it needs a bit of work. This side is decorated, mostly finished, but technically, or technologically, it's not completely finished. These are storage, these are my shulker box loaders. How these ones work is, let's go over to the stone side, since those are actually functioning right now. Most of this area is not done, I just wanted to get the one section done to show it off. Here we go. If I take a bunch of stone out of this, my inventory's not full of junk for once, and I come over to this, and I fill it all up with stone. Fill up every spot. When I get to the very end, this shulker box will break. Sometimes it gets stuck right here. I'll throw it in. And a new box will be put in its place, as so. The other box will then be transported over to here. You can see a bunch of different kinds of stone filled up in shulker boxes here. I have 4 of them in each because there's a lot of different variants I like to use. I can throw any number of whatever I want in here. I believe my granite was about full. So when these get full, I like to put them in a shulker box and then it empties itself back out. Or I just make them into the polished variant. It's just nice to have a bulk storage for certain items. I've got bulk storage for stone, wood. Wood will make sense soon. The sand and deserty bits, dirt, all that, gravel. And concrete and terracotta, because I use a lot of those items. And one other thing here at the beginning. This over here will also be filled with water. It will mix into this river here. I'm just not quite done building it yet. I'm probably going to try to get that done at the end of this, but if I feel like the video is going on for too long, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be in the next video. This over here will be what I like to call my armory, I guess. It's where I'm going to store a bunch of my items that don't really have a place to be. Like armor, weapons, tools, spare tools, torches, lanterns, shulker boxes, all that stuff. It's also where my super smelters will be. And behind it, I'm going to build a large tree with a minecart elevator. And that will be where my bedroom is. Or I can have the minecart go down, and it can take me to certain places around the base if I don't feel like walking, or if they're not exactly connected to the base physically, but with a minecart track. I hope that makes sense. It probably doesn't. It's a full moon tonight, boys. Full moon tonight. Alright, on to the wood farm then. Now then, this is the part of the base that's actually pretty well done, as you can see. I think it looks beautiful, if I do say so myself. It took me a while to build this. I was not very good at it at first, but I have gotten much better at it as time goes on. These are my tree farms. This one specifically is my dark oak tree farm. If anyone is interested, I would love to make a tutorial on this thing, even if it was a nightmare for me to build. But how this works is, you take your saplings here. You need to have a Fortune 3 axe for this. It is kind of required just because of how dark oak works. And you're also going to need some bone meal. So what you do is, this is a very manual farm. You take your dark oak saplings. For those of you who don't know or have forgotten, dark oak needs to be in a 4x4 slot, like this. You cannot grow just single trees. I guess I could show that off right now. If I only have one here, I could sit here and bone meal this all day. It's never going to grow. It has to be in 4x4 slot, like this. This farm can be kind of touchy. Sometimes it takes a stack of bone meal, sometimes it takes 4 bone meal. Let's see what we do when we... Oh, got a pretty good one this time. So what I like to do is, you don't have to do this, it just makes it work better. Come around here. This is a very manual farm, unfortunately. It's just kind of how it goes with these things. You mine away everything that is not this 2x2 log. Then you press this stone button right here. And then the leg fest will commence. And all the wood will be transported over to here. Then you come up here on the scaffolding with your fortune axe, and you have to bust away as many of these as you can. Try not to hit the pistons, it's really easy. And you have to do this because dark oak saplings are notorious for never wanting to drop. And if you don't do this, you probably won't get enough to keep running the farm. But if you do, you should make a slight profit on saplings. It looks like I made about 4 that time, so that's pretty good. And yeah, one more time with the feeling. Being pretty generous today with the bone meal usage. It seems slow, but remember, you're getting 4 logs on each side of the farm. And smack the button again. This system actually has to run twice for it to take the logs to where they need to be, or else, as you saw, they'll sit right here. I needed it to run again. This is some pretty complicated redstone down here. I tried to color code it. It really needs fixed up. If I did a tutorial for it, I would simplify it as much as possible. It's got things in here that could be done better. But yeah, it's mostly just a lot of timing circuits. Bunch of repeaters, redstone dust, all that stuff. There's nothing too complicated about it. It just has to be done in a certain order. And if we come out here to where the wood is, there should be 2 log space out here now. Yep. Now, when this gets all the way to the end, I'll do this right now. I didn't need to take one. We'll come over to here, and it will push it out. It doesn't matter which observer it hits. I do this in case a bottom log is missing. This tree has a problem sometimes of not always wanting to cooperate. And sometimes it doesn't want to push the bottom log for some reason. It's just little finicky things that I would work out on the real design, but this is functioning, and I like its quirkiness, even if it is goofy. Now let's go over to the much more interesting one. This is the normal tree farm. This isn't really a good place to show it from. Apologies. This is my normal tree farm. These are the bone meal indicators. They show how much bone meal is in the farm right now. Let's head into the... Oh, hello. No. You weren't invited. You're not part of this. I don't even want your crossbow. That's not cool, bro. Okay. This is Again, it's just timing circuits. I know it looks kind of confusing, even with me trying to color code it. It's really not. I build these on all of my worlds. I love them. This one you don't need to have. It's just a lamp indicator for when you can use the farm again. It shuts it off, just so you don't break it. It doesn't need to be in here, but I like it because I tend to break things all the time. But if we head over here, this is where the bone meal storage is. And if we look in here, as you can see, it's completely full to the brim right now. There should be some up here. Yes, it's quite full right now. Nope, there it is, right there. And that's how full this farm is. This one's probably emptying itself out, yes. And those lamps are just hooked to comparators on these hoppers to show where the bone meal is in the farm to know when you need to reload it. This farm is actually very efficient on wood depending on which wood variant you are using. It's very full right now. I'll show it off. This tree farm works on every wood sapling there is, as you can see by all of them being in here. Let me just grab one of each here really quick. Alright, we've got one of each right here. So how this farm works is, these are just shears for if I ever want to get the leaves off of them. I use leaves in a lot of the spaces you've seen. And for pistons, observers, redstone, and levers for if I break them. If this farm gets completely full, it will actually break this lever and shut the farm off. So the farm, these lamps, that's the indicator I was talking about. Here, I'll just show you with an oak sapling. So you turn the farm on, grab your saplings, you place them there, and boom. See, the lamps shut off, and they'll turn back on when it tells you the farm can be used again. It actually likes birch saplings the most. Birch will never grow any leaves. They grow some of the tallest ones. And it works really well. Spruce it tends to not like sometimes. Today, apparently, it likes them. And I've never ran out of saplings for these. Jungle would be the only one that might because they drop less saplings, but if we can see here how many jungle saplings come in. See, it got one there, so it usually gets enough. Acacia and oak are the ones in this farm that can be a problem, because it doesn't happen very often, but oak can grow branches in here. And if it grows a branch, the farm will not work. If, say, I put a dark oak here to simulate it being a sapling, or to simulate it being a branch, this will never grow. It will be in the way, so you gotta have an axe here and pay attention to it. If it stops growing for some reason... Oh, nope. Oh, hey, just like that. It made one. Hey, just to prove its point, it did make one with an oak right there. It is possible, it just eats bone meal to do it. It's better to just break the log. Acacia is the difficult one. Because as you can see, it grows branches in every which way it feels like. So you have to sit in here with an axe and just make sure no branches stick around. And it'll work just fine. I can also make a tutorial on this one if you guys are interested. There's plenty of tutorials for this kind of farm out there, though. But if you are interested, I can definitely make a simplified version. Just let me know if you're interested in that kind of thing. And this farm, just like the other one, will push them into a large block. I should have built this the other way around and made them push it into this block first, but I didn't. Oh, here we are. And I'll push it into a large block about to here, and then it will continue on to the other side. And yeah, when it fills up this block completely, it will push the logs along this way, and it will hit these observers. When it hits these observers, it breaks that lever. It's safety, so it doesn't break the farm. And it works perfectly. I have tested it out. It worked 3 times in a row. That was a lot of wood, by the way. And yeah. This section is the closest to done. This floor is kind of a pain to make like this, but I think it looks beautiful. If you guys are wondering about the buttons, no, they don't do anything. The point of them is that they're supposed to look like rocks. If it looks weird, I assure you, if I took them out, it would look weirder. I did it just to prove a point. I could even do that in the next video. Take out all the buttons and it'll look weird, I assure you. Alright, this is my original base. Oh, if you're wondering why it's all lit up over here, but there's no lights anywhere that you can see, it's because I hid all of them under the floor. Light will go through transparent blocks, so I like to hide all of my lighting. It's why a lot of my base will be lit up, but you can't see torches or anything. Torches I don't like in certain places, so I light it up with hidden lighting in the floor. This is my original base, where it all started, with all my farms. My netherwort farm, I needed that while I was constructing the nether hub. I did all of that, and I needed it all for the red nether brick. Bamboo farm for my original fuel. I think there's still some left in these. Yeah. This is where I originally smelted everything. These 2 furnaces, boy, have they smelted a lot of things. A lot of iron went through those. My little chorus plants. My original super smelter, which unfortunately will be coming down here soon because it's time to build the ones over in my armory section. Yeah. As you can see, I have plenty of nether items still left over, including the netherwort blocks. And yeah, this is a pusher-based netherwort farm. It's not the best, I found out. It's actually really laggy. Yeah, it's pretty laggy. If I did it again, I would build a... Oh, look! We have an uninvited guest in my turtle farm. Gonna have to deal with that here in a second. Yeah, it has to be pushed both ways, and it's really laggy. If I did it again, I would just use a water-based one. Those ones work much better in the tower shape. These were just farms I needed right away at the beginning of the season. This is where I got all the wood from my original tree farm before I built the big one. Or my tree shop, actually. Yeah. And this is where I got some wheat, carrots. The bamboo over here is I was testing the simulation distance of the realm. That's how I found out it was 75 blocks. I stood at a block I knew and put bamboo out and waited about 15 minutes to see which ones would grow, and that told me how far it is. It's 75 blocks, if you're wondering. At least for the bamboo to grow, but that might have been because I was in a certain chunk, and if I was in between chunks, it would work better. But roughly 75 is what you can guess. Alright, I guess we got one more thing to show off. I will meet you there in a sec. Alright, on to the final part of my base tour. This is where I did a lot of my AFKing for bones and rotten flesh. It's just a skeleton and a zombie grinder, but the zombie grinder I converted to also be a drowned farm. You can see right here, it's just a little skeleton farm. I put that in there just to turn it off, it spawns skeletons, and it takes them over to here. Nothing too complicated about it. This is where I did all of my enchanting. I like to build these little enchantment rooms. Some people ask why. This is a level 30 enchantment table, but this is a level 20. I did level 20 as well. I always do, because you can get Silk Touch for a level 20 enchantment, which is nice early game if that's all you're looking for. You can get Silk Touch and Infinity and some other lower level enchantments. You can still get up to Sharpness 3 or 4 with this. You can get enchantments for cheaper, or if you're trying to get better enchantments, why use up as much XP? They also give you different... If you're enchanting a lot of books like I do, We look in here. I've got a bunch of... Nope. Here's all my books. You can, you will have different enchantments. So if you've got, like, Bane of Arthropods 1, 2, and 5 on here, and you don't want any of those, you can go over here, and it might have a Sharpness 3. Just so you don't gotta waste enchantments on things you don't want. And now if we come over here, this is my skeleton grinder. I now should probably explain this. This is an XP holder. What it's for is, I like to enchant all my tools separately. But I don't like to use potions, I like to get fortune to get everything I can. So I come through, and I swing my sword, I get fortune on everything, but the XP is held in there. And then I open this up, and I can put all the XP on one tool, whatever tool I want. And that's the point of that. I do that just because, like I said, I don't like to use potions in here. I could, but I wanted to use fortune to get as many bones as possible. I have a lot of bone meal powered farms in my base, so it's really nice to have. It's pretty empty right now. Same basic floor design, a bit more cluttered than up top where I perfected it. These are my little brewing stations. You just press the button for whatever you've put in here. As you can see, it's not set up for anything right now. This one is set up for glistening melon. I want to say that's instant damage potions, but I could be wrong. Nope, it's instant health. They were not converted. Moving on over to here. This little system, I like this design. It's a bit difficult to explain my thought process here, but I'll do my best. Okay, so if this were armor pieces, I like to smelt down armor pieces just to get a little bit of extra gold and iron and things. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm a bit of a hoarder. So let's just pretend this is an armor piece. I would take it out, and I would throw it into these hoppers, where it would make its way over to here. It takes a little bit. It's got a lot of hoppers to run through. And it would end up in one of these furnaces. Hasn't quite gotten here yet. There it is. And if it was armor, it would immediately be smelted down and put into here. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of gold. I used up pretty much all of the iron already. It's mostly just gold in here. That's how much gold I've gotten just from smelting down armor pieces. It's why I like to do it. It's just a bit of extra gold. I don't really need it. And then when there's just a bunch of rubbish items in here, I just flick this lever, and it will send them into a lava, where they will be deleted. These are my villagers. This is my priest, where I trade rotten flesh for emeralds, and where I tend to also buy redstone from them. I don't know why. I have a bunch of emeralds. I could trade gold if I wanted to, but I like to use the gold. And nether wart. There's a lot of things I could trade, scoots, all that kind of thing. This is mostly where I get bulk redstone if I need a lot of redstone at once and I don't feel like caving. I have plenty of emeralds laying around, as you can see. Yeah. This is just the zombie version of the farm. You see, flick it off, it'll spawn zombies. But this one, oh look! These two are wearing gold armor, so I could show something off that I don't normally get to show off, but now's a great time to do it. So these zombies are wearing gold armor right now. This is my drowned converter. What you do is, you flick this lever, which locks it. It locks those zombies into place. I don't remember which one does which. I haven't used this in a while. One of these is the crusher, the other is the water. Okay, that's the crusher, unfortunately. So it killed them, because I'm terrible. What it would do is, I can show it off with these guys. Water will flow into here. And in a few seconds, these zombies will start to shake. When they start to shake, it means they're beginning the transformation into drowned. When they begin the transformation into drowned, well, after they complete the transformation to drowned, they will actually drop a perfect version of everything they're holding. Because drowned can now wear armor, and they can only hold tridents. So the way the game does this, instead of despawning it, it will just make them drop it. And they're shaking right now. So you turn the water off. But the reason that the crusher is there is that when zombies convert to drowned, they get all their health back. So they're at half a heart right now. But if I try to punch them, they still have plenty of health left. That's what the crusher's for. It takes them down so I can just one-hit them with a sword for sure. Or if I wanted to punch them. It still takes a few hits. It's not perfect. It's mostly for swords. Yeah. We'll see if they actually dropped anything. They might have. Ah, yes, this. That was for when I had it converted for XP. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, they didn't seem to drop any of their tools or anything, but I assure you, when a zombie converts to a drowned, they will always drop their tools. Same little enchantment room over here. All my villagers, all that stuff. Hello, Wandering Trader. You got anything good right now? Not really. Sometimes they have gunpowder, and you can get 16 gunpowder from them. That's where I get a lot of my gunpowder. My vase is pretty... It's actually decently mob protected right now, probably because there's things taking up the cap. And a lot of it's pretty well lit up. Alright, well, I guess that is about it for this episode. I'm sorry that it is pretty scattershotted, but this is my first one, so I'm sure you all will forgive me on this occasion, right? 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 And this video went on a bit longer than I wanted it to. But, so we're not going to get on to the... to building anything right now, but that will definitely be next episode. Apparently there was a fire up here at one point. So yeah, oh, these are my little beehives. I put some bees in around here. If anyone is wondering why there is a bunch of bees in the nether, I assure you, I had nothing to do with it at all. At all. Well, I'll meet you guys here next time for the next episode. Hopefully this week. I don't know when exactly. It depends on how much I get done and how much I can make for an episode. I don't really know what it's going to take me to do all these things. But I'll do my best to let you guys know when the next episode will be out. Alright. My name's Cruz and I'm out. See you next time. Bye.